This is Yatta debates. So Yatta is not here. As you can see, I'm in Yatta's chair. I'm in the big boy chair today. And today's topic is unbothered. But before I start, I want to introduce our guest. She's a guest on our show. She's one of my first guest since I've been a co-host. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, tell y'all about herself and everything like that. So you guys just let me know. Yes, he does look weird because he's not here. So I'm just gonna let you guys, just get to know her. Yeah, like introduce yourself, and then we're gonna jump right into the topic. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you for having me here. How y'all doing tonight? My name is Midori. Everybody that knows me as Dory. Oh, my head red. Everybody that knows me as Dory. Talking to Yada, he described me as a Swiss Army knife. So if I talk to y'all about who I am, what I do, I could just say that I'm a Jill of all trades, Jack of all trades, somebody with a J, Jane of all trades. But I work in different things outside of my Clark Kent corporate America. I work on my creative side heavy. I'm an artist, singer, songwriter. I'm also a visual model, creative director. I work as a blogger, soon to be podcaster. So y'all going to see me working on some stuff. And on top of that, as an entrepreneur, I like to make my bread. I work as a stock investor, as well as working in network marketing, as well as working on my freelance trades, resume and logo design outside of working. Because it's 2020. I'm not going to get all of my bread at work. I got to get it somewhere. So, boom, I do a lot of stuff. A lot of people say that you can't do more than one thing. They're lying. They're all lying because I'm out here doing it all and I didn't die or nothing. I just got to stop for water breaks. So that's me. That's what I do. I'm super happy to be on this show. Thank you guys for having me on this show.
Yes.
It's a pleasure being here.
And this is our first show since we were in the newspaper on Monday. So if you guys missed that, we did make the front page for our positive impact and basically what we're trying to promote in the community in general, like revitalization of trend and things like that, and just making sure that you guys are on top of yourselves, like getting money and things like that. So today's topic is going to be fun. This is the entertaining side of Yatta debates, and there's two strong female energies here. So this is going to be like real fun. Yatta is watching behind the scenes, so he's here. So he'll bust up the show if anything goes wrong. But today's topic, we're going to talk about being unbothered, and basically this stems from Omarion's response to the whole Little Fizz and April thing that happened between them and their friendships. And there's really so many things that we can go into about that with my personal opinion on being unbothered. Like, I feel like that's the best route to go, because when you do too much, it's like you get nothing out of it. You gain nothing from that. But when you calculate your moves and you make your best moves and you make money moves, that's how you get your revenge. Your best revenge is your paper and being unbothered. So, my dear, what do you think about that? Like, with all of that?
Okay, so this was like juicy gossip. Like, this was like watching like One Life to Live or All My Children in real life, except as an adult now and not sneaking and watching a kid with my mom. But I used to, me and my cousins used to be on B2K heavy. Like, when I was 5, my cousins were like 8 or something. And this was like 02 or whatever. And all of them up and down was all through B2K. We each had our little favorite, and it was always either Omarion or Fizz. We definitely had some splashes of J-Bug, but definitely like O and Fizz. And come to find out later in life, we didn't even notice, but Fizz had like, a little hating on O, ain't even know it. And we're not seeing it full-fledged until now because baby mom's out here. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. Me looking at this is spicy. This is like a flare-up of something that's just been waiting like lava. But if you look at it, I mean, you're not about to sit here and go on a whole tour with this man and make money and be in his face. Meanwhile, you checking for his baby mom and they having problems and she's over here like working with you like, oh, we're gonna like be together and do this dumb stuff. I'm sorry, that was like petty Sagittarius energy. I'm sorry. Like, I digressed. Outside of that, like, seeing that, like, nah, you're not about to get away with that, and then you go on another tour. So I knew when Omarion posted that Millennium Tour thing on his Instagram, I'm like, he's a Scorpio. There's something going on.
Yep.
And boom, he was real quiet, but I'm like, he's a little too quiet. He's not gonna.
But that's the thing about being unbothered is that you never let like the person who affected you know your next move. Like that's how you treat your enemies. You never let them know your next move. You just pop up and be like, pop up, guess who? Like that's how it is. But that also goes into the subject of like how deep was their friendship, because they basically grew up together. Literally. And that's your baby mother that, you know, that's somebody who bear both your children with, and then you're over here sleeping with your best friend's baby mom. Like that is the ultimate form of disrespect. That means you never respected the friendship to begin with, because I feel like in friendships there should be boundaries, like of who you should not mess with. Like, and friends should not mess with their friend's significant other. Like she should not even be like someone who you want to. Like there's so many people in Hollywood who you could date, and you choose your bandmate's baby mother, and then on top of that, you can't even effectively co-parent with your baby mother. So it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation? So that all boils down to like bonds and things like that, like real friends versus like fake friends, and look, they said they were just coworkers. So now you take that element and it's like, oh, you're my coworker now? All right, bet. Well, guess what? You're fired. He's the first person I've ever met that fired a whole group and just like, I'm about to
everybody
by myself.
Does not eat anymore because you wanted to be you want to be with this person. Everybody going. Nobody's eating at the table. It's like, how did you manage? Did you really think that you were about to actually be able to eat with this man after you did him dirty? Like, and yes, oh my God. I don't know if y'all saw me with the church hand. That wasn't on purpose. That was something. But listen, Moniece, if you're out there and you're hearing us, I'm with you and I see you. And Fizz is scuzzy. He's not fizzy. He's scuzzy. He's nasty. He's the soap scum suds that's on the side of the bathtub that haven't been washed off for 3 days because nobody decided to splash it with the shower head.
Yeah.
And you're going through a lot. And we see that. And on top of that, something that I really appreciate that Moniece is bringing to the light on Love and Hip Hop is how mental health does affect the Black community, specifically Black women, specifically Black mothers. And
yeah, they don't want us to have mental illness. They don't want us to. They just are like, oh, y'all just crazy.
Have a
like,
problem.
If you have a mental illness in the Black community and you're a woman, like that's it. You crazy. Like Summer Walker having her anxiety attacks, she automatically gets attacked for that.
Oh,
like
but
that.
She want to wear a bra on stage. That doesn't mean that you're not
just because you
wear...
do that doesn't mean you can't have anxiety. I do Yatta debates and I have super anxiety. So it's like, if there's no poster for like mental health, like of what it should be, it comes in all different forms. So that even boils down to like that, like Fizz's mental state of mind. Like, what would make you think that would be like the best move for you financially? And you're the one that begged Omarion and them to come back to do the tour, and then you get kicked off the tour because you want to do shiesty stuff. Like, and you can't do that.
Why are you trying? Like, you hate Omarion so. Just look at this circle. You hate Omarion so bad to the point where you want to pretend to play stepdaddy to his kids to make him upset, and in turn, while you're doing that time that you're spending trying to play stepdaddy to spite him, you're ignoring your own kid, and your baby mom, who's actually calling and asking for help because she's having mental health days, is suffering. So everybody else in your back life is suffering because you want to sit here and try to prove some type of point that you got something, or that you're insecure, got something from somebody that you have an issue with. Sir, please, we're watching you. You really are the soap scum on the wall.
But I just feel like, you know, how Omarion handled the whole situation is how we should approach like situations like that when it comes to friendships, when it comes to relationships. I'm not saying not address stuff, but like there's a way to go about it and a time and place for everything. Like, just don't let your reaction affect your paper. And that's exactly what he did. He was like, all right, you want to be petty, you want to do this, you want to do that, unbothered. Like you have to be unbothered to certain things when, you know, when you're in situations like this, especially like drama and chaotic situations, it's always best to take the high road. And that's exactly what he did. He took the high road. He was like, all right, I'm not going to go on Love and Hip Hop, wow, out, do all that extra stuff. I'm gonna just be calm, zen, live my best life.
He knew where he sat.
And guess what? He's gonna make almost $4 million.
I think it's $6.
Yeah,
he's making
$4-6 million
by himself.
With the tour.
And he bought Bow On, because if you have to think about it, as much as I love B2K, I'm going to be honest. Without Omarion, there isn't a B2K, but B2K fizzled out, and Omarion still survived through the early to mid to late 2000s, and even after that, he still remained relevant. So he has his own standing. We could see Omarion on the stage and still have a heart attack. So they fizz. I don't know what.
For y'all, I don't know. I did go to the Millennium Tour in April.
I'm so mad I didn't get there.
They played like, all right. So this is one thing that the gem was of the Millennium Tour. Like, they had all the warm up acts and stuff, and then when B2K came on, before they came on, they played like everything from the start. Like, it was like a video clip of like the start of the group to the ending of them falling out, to them reuniting, and then they all came out one by one, and like, we was like, God. But then now it's going to be different, and I do want to kind of go to this Millennium Tour now too, because I want to see like how it's going to be different, like how are they going to play Omarion coming out now. But it's just,
what if they play a petty story of him and the baby mom situation?
And do that. Crazy. It's like his baby mom, she's going about it in the wrong way too, because it's like, I feel like, even from earlier shows, I haven't been up to date with Love and Hip Hop as recently as like, before. Yeah. But in earlier shows, she always said that she felt overshadowed by Omarion's like fame, because she was like, oh, I sing too, and I do this too. And like, I feel like she's just doing this like for attention. And that's another thing that we get caught up on, is the drug of attention and fame and seeking validation from like social media and our fans and people like that. And that's like something that we have to address as like, social media users, as the Black community, as things like that, because attention is really like the devil. Like, seeking attention, seeking validation. Like, if you haven't noticed, like, there's people who like clout chasers and stuff, who go online, who do things purposely just so that they can become famous or whatever, and they do really stupid things, maybe even things to potentially hurt themselves just to become famous. And in the end, you're doing that for what, 15 minutes of fame, and you're gonna fizzle out, and people are gonna forget all about you,
and your kids are gonna be scarred, because
and then everything that's on the internet stays on the internet forever, no matter how long or how you think you deleted. Somebody could have screen grabbed it, recorded it, whatever.
Everything is going so fast. It could be on hundreds of accounts in less than an hour, and you're just out there, and you're doing this for 15 minutes of fame and maybe a couple of paychecks that aren't even residual. They're just going to come in a few times, and now your kids got to deal with the fact that they're going into middle school and high school, and their mom's just being talked about, and that's the highlight of their school years. What? Like, don't y'all think about that? Like,
and then, after a certain point in time, or after you get to a certain age, I feel like we should all learn like something like social media etiquette. Like,
yes.
If you're gonna be a business person on social media, be a business person. Conduct yourself in a professional manner. If you're gonna be like a comedian, whatever, do whatever that is, but don't blend the two worlds, because then like those worlds collide, and then you can have serious business people like looking at you, but they won't take you seriously because you're doing foolery on there. So
yeah, they really just think that you playing.
Listen, I'm not a serious person online, so I'm just a comedian. But aside from that, you just have to really know how to separate boundaries from online life and that addiction of like fame and things like that, because everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to be wealthy. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'll take the money before I take the fame. I don't want to be famous. I want to have my money sitting in my account.
I want to do with money. I want to get a house. I want to get some land. I can't do none of that with fame. What can I do with a ticket to a nosebleed section at the VH1 Awards? So nothing. Like, I want some cash.
Omarion went about it in the right way, and that's how I think he did it. Like, but then again, Scorpios are very calculating people, and they just they always plan their next move. Some of them are very high-headed, but some of them are just like, what? Bet.
A quiet Scorpio, guys. So
he's like, all right, you think you got checkmate. Like, that's how you do things. Like, and the living and being unbothered is like you have to embody it like you do, because a lot of people will sit there and be like, I'm unbothered, and will be bothered.
They'll be screaming, I'm unbothered. Like they're upset.
There'll be people who will be like, they'll be feuding with people, and then they'll be like, I'm not bothered by this person, I'm unbothered, but then be checking this person's account, checking everything that they do, things like that, like checking their every move. And it's like, why do all that? Why are you like, if you're unbothered, just be unbothered, just forget they exist. Like, that's part of my life. If me and you have a falling out and it's like really like bad to the point where like I just don't want nothing to do with you, I don't acknowledge you. Like, I don't acknowledge your presence. I don't acknowledge anything to do with you. Like, you're non-existent to me. Like, I embody being unbothered. Like, I'm mad in that moment, but once that moment is over, you no longer can get any energy out of me. Like, nothing. Like,
he was really
not even nothing. Not a post, nothing. Like, I don't do like the thing that got me wrapped up in the whole like this thing, which is why I wanted to like talk about it, is because they were doing like the social media thing, like going live on there, talking about it, like explaining themselves. Why, if this is a decision that makes you happy, why are you explaining yourself? You see, Omarion didn't explain himself. Even when he did his interview, he was just like, yeah, I'm chilling. Like, you know, I'm about to do the tour. Like, I'm chilling. And that's how you should be. Like,
yeah.
Don't let people, unnecessary people, even if it's your friends, someone close to you, like whatever, don't let them take unnecessary energy from you. Because it's not needed. Like, it's not warranted, because it's just wasted energy. Like, you're just wasting your energy, getting mad, getting upset, and things like that. And that's why I feel like should be like a lesson to all of us. Like, don't let people waste your energy. Don't waste your energy on useless people who try to do things to spite you, who try to do things to try to hurt you intentionally. Just like rise above them. Be like, all right, you want to do that? I'm going to let my success be my revenge towards you. So I'm going to just keep grinding, do what I got to do. And you could watch from the sidelines or whatever you want to do, but your energy is not about to mess up mine.
Right.
So
he ain't got no choice. He got to watch from the sidelines. He ain't got no part of the show. He kicked out. She not going. I guess she thought that she was going to be making money. I'm hearing that he either has like partial or full custody of the children. So she's not getting control of child support.
And I think that's ultimately like what their plan was, but it backfired because of the way they went about it. And that's the thing, like, you have to go about things smart. You can't go off of things off of your emotions. Exactly. And that's why you have to be, like, in some instances, unbothered about certain things. Because if you always move off of your emotions, you're going to put yourself in predicaments that are not going to be helpful to you in the end. Because then now you just created a whole situation that could have been avoided had you handled the situation differently. Like, my mom always says, there's a time and place for everything. And literally, there's a time and place for everything. And for every action, there's a reaction. But sometimes no reaction is the best reaction sometimes. Like, you don't have to give everybody a reaction to things that they do or say about you. Especially if people say things about you. If someone comes up to you and hits you with something, yeah, you're going to beat them up. But if they're just talking or doing things out of spite to you or about you. She
moved on to a different dude and I would have been like, but literally, like, if she would have went and you could have got with a ball player that was taller or whatever, had money. You could have got with a business person or whatever. You could have did whatever.
But then that brings me to like, maybe what if this was all just constructed for Love and Hip Hop? Like, that's what I thought initially. I thought it was for the show, but then when I realized that Omarion really was moving on without them, they were on the tour.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like you set up innocent bystanders too, because Razby and J Boog got kicked out too behind this.
Yo, J Boog was literally like walking on eggshells like Fizz. On the show, like, Fizz, please understand. This is not just your money, it's our money. Like, he was looking like, I'm about to beat you up in the bathroom. Like, that's really how he was looking, but he was trying to be like nice for the viewers. But he's really looking like, dog, this really in real life outside of this reality show is all of our bag. So if you could tone it down and just pretend like this isn't happening, great. But he did. He was like, nope, I got to make a scene on Love and Hip Hop. And then boom, now y'all all fired. Like, I really want to know, what did Fizz think he was going to get out of this? Because
I'm just confused still to this moment, even right now. Like, why would you do that if you were the one begging for everyone to get back together? and make the group happen again.
I just want O to get back together with the group, and I think we should do a reunion. What did you
like? What were you expecting from that? Like, so that's my whole thing with that. So with that being said, we have to go into the topics of how to handle friendships like that, like, or like if you're in like professional groups with people, like, are they your friends? Like, are your professional, your coworkers, your group members,
you gotta watch
people you work with, are they your friends? Like, or are they just like associates? So
yes,
is there like a line that they can cross or not?
I could say honestly, like from knowing that industry like a little bit, it's weird because there's such a thin line between the people being your friends and actually being just people that are co-workers, because it's not like a traditional type of work. Like I've lived over on the other side of the country in like San Diego. And even though I didn't really go as much to LA, I got to be around like different artists and stuff that were over there. And even like their corporate structure is so weird. Like they'll have you go into a corporate job at 11:30 or 11 o'clock. And it's like, we usually go into work at 8 o'clock sharp. That's it. You go in, punch the clock. But it's different over there. It's more lax, and it makes it harder to differentiate who's your friend and who's not, because people can also waver the line of who's your friend and who's not, and if they are actually your friend, or they can manipulate it like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm this person's friend, and then 5 seconds later they'll be like, but if you find out that I'm over here trying to F you over, I'm just gonna pretend like we're just snapping back like, oh, well, we're coworkers, so what's the problem? This is strictly business, or whatever people say when they want to sit here and screw you over. It's ridiculous. But I mean, I had to go back and look at different throwback videos of Fizz doing interviews and Fizz talking and making like different comments about Omarion. And he would just make like real snide remarks and real snide comments and smirks anytime that they brought up Omarion. And I'm like, oh, so you've really been hating. Like, you've been going off. But outside of that, to see it now playing out and see Fizz actually thinking that he's playing Omarion by messing with his kids, like, Mom, you're not doing anything but making yourself look even more skeezy.
I think they said they were cousins, but they're really not. But you know what's funny about Jhené Aiko? She has a baby by Omarion's brother. Yeah. Which makes it even like crazier, because then it's like that whole Big Sean thing, whatever. But it's just crazy how entangled everybody in the industry is.
Everybody grew up together. Honestly, they all grew up down the street together. So, like, everybody literally grew. Like, that's weird. Hollywood over there is like a staffing agency, like over here in Jersey, where you would just go and you might see your old classmate or something like that. Like, everybody works in the same industry. It's just a matter of who gets to get on TV this season or get on a series this year and be seen, and is it your turn? And you'll have people that are even like extras, that are people that are stars that are just making it onto Love and Hip Hop now, that have been like casted as extras in shows like that. It's weird though. It's like, y'all don't got no money to fly to a different city and find somebody else. Like, y'all not getting tired of like sleeping with everybody in Hollywood High. Like, there's other places that y'all could go, and there's other people y'all can talk to. Y'all don't got to be in the industry. Please find somebody that's quiet and trade stocks. Go somewhere. Like,
but that's not what the industry is about. They're about entertaining us and keeping us entertained. And sometimes that's why I feel like some of these moves are like calculated by like the industry. Like, maybe someone at Love and Hip Hop put a bug in his ear, like, hey Fizz, it might be a good idea if you want April due date. Like, you guys are cool, you guys are best friends, like, maybe y'all should see what's up. And then, from there it probably blossomed. They didn't think it probably was gonna roll out like this or whatever. But I'm gonna just say this. Mm-hmm. If any of my friends ever decided to date my baby father, any of the two of them, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead to me. And that's that. Like, and that's
it's
it. Like,
breaking code, even for like,
and people don't understand girl code, like things like that, like guy code, none of that.
Like,
and I don't know if April and Monique were cool like that. I never really seen them as cool like that, but that doesn't really matter for that part. It's the fact of that Fizz and And Omarion went through all of that. Went through all of that with their manager, with the whole molestation allegations and everything like that. They literally
grew up together.
Like, and then you're gonna go and mess with his baby mother after his baby mother had their baby live on Love and Hip Hop for the world to see.
Like, y'all, you've seen them like together and have been around. Like, still, you're supposed to look at her like a sis. They were dating for mad long.
Like, that brings me to another thing. Like, who is off limits when it comes to like dating? Like, with like when you're with your friend groups or whatever your associated group. Like, can you date like your friends' exes or significant others or baby mothers? I feel like once they have a kid together, they should be off limits completely. Yeah. Like, that's it. If they were like an ex,
or if they were married,
even married,
how
yeah.
Do you
like,
feel about You can't, because that's literally somebody.
It's weird because then it's gonna make. To me, I feel like if you date like my ex and we were friends, I feel like you probably had your eye on them the whole time.
Because literally, we took time to get married,
and you were probably around during all of the times that we were building, like probably when we started dating, probably while we were, going out. You probably were comforting me while we broke up, and then you go turn around and go
listening to me talk about our woes. Like, you just been sitting here plotting. What you been doing? Like, nah. Now, if it's like I guess if it's like an ex from like high school or ex from college or from like a few years ago, and they have a conversation with you and bring it up, that'd be cool. If they just pop up and they're just like dating the person and they knew that you dated that person at that time, like if it's just a friend who, came up and was just like, oh, this is such and such. Oh, snap, I dated him. Oh my God, I didn't know. You never told me. Oh, it's okay. You wouldn't have known. We didn't know each other at the time. That's one thing. But if it's a friend that you had since like middle school and they know that you dated this person, they pop up dating them, it's going to be like, I know it was a little while ago, but could you at least have said something like that kind of thing? So it's like,
I don't know. If you date any of my recent exes, like you trash.
That's weird.
But you won't get any reaction out of me because at the end of the day, you're just trash. And that's how I'm just going to review you. And that's how I'm just going to move forward with my life and date whoever I want to date. Yes. Like, that's just that. Like, that's why I just say, like, I don't know, like people who homie hop and things like that, like, like that, those things, like, I really can't say too much on that subject. But as far as like dating somebody's baby mom or maybe like that should not be like something that's not cool. Like, that's not something kosher. So that's why I'm really, really, again, like I'm supportive of Omarion's moves and every move that he made. And I'm a whole Capricorn and we are calculating. So it's like, I love your energy. I'm just like, with me, I was like, yes, this is exactly how it is. I would have been like, oh no, I'm good. And then I would have popped up with something like, oh yeah, that's right, your bag is done. That's it. And that would have been that. Like, I wouldn't have been no talking about it. I wouldn't have been venting about it. Maybe Omarion did vent to whoever the appropriate party he needed to vent to, but he wasn't letting the world see him sweat or stress or nothing like that.
He was chilling, taking pictures, getting his haircut, smirking, chilling, showing his teeth. Going to different charity balls, wearing velvet, suede, looking fly. He was going out. He was making sure that he was looking good. Like, everybody, we know everybody was checking that man's page. I was checking for his page, like petty comments or anything. But he's been so chill about. He was chill before like dropping it, like surprise.
And then the way how he did it was like the best way. He dropped it on his birthday. On his birthday. So it's like. It's like, that's how you do things. You move accordingly.
That's it.
If someone does you dirty, you just be like, all right.
Strategic, like you playing Battleship.
Really?
Just really came in like a minefield. Like, surprise. That's really it. You ain't celebrating your birthday today. You lost your bag and you just found it out.
But I do want to piggyback back to mental health in the Black community, especially with the women, because that's a taboo topic that we don't talk about, and especially with the topic of toxicity, with all of the stuff that goes on around us, dealing with like dating and things like that. We don't get to address those types of things. Do you know how hard it is to find a therapist who you can relate to, who will actually actually relate to your problems and understand you as a person and not just view you as like an unstable, angry Black woman? Do you know how quick they are to label you as soon as you go into a doctor's office and and vent your feelings as either bipolar, schizophrenic. They're so quick to put a diagnosis on you instead of just listening to you. And that's why we as Black women need more Black psychologists, more Black psychiatrists, just so that we can understand us, our mental state. Because a lot of times we're not even really angry. It's just that we deal with so much, like from the minute that we're consciously aware of our surroundings, and then we move forward in life and are like pelted with so many negative things. And it's like when you get into adulthood, and especially when you get onto social media, which is why, again, this does go back to being unbothered, especially on social media. It's hard to be a Black woman on social media. Do you know how many times I have to skip over posts about dudes bashing us in general or things like that, or just like us, or just like anything in general like that? Even just talking about your mental health, you're just labeled as crazy. Like, and that's something that should not be a thing. Like, it should not be something that, you know, like, oh, Jesus can fix us. No imaginary man in the sky can fix your brain. You need to go and vent out whatever you need to vent out, but not publicly. Don't air yourself out online. Don't go posting subliminal statuses and things like that, shooting like, or doing whatever, making live videos, arguing about people and stuff like that. Actually go sit down with a therapist or a psychiatrist and really like address the problems within yourself. Do a lot of inner work. And if you're not comfortable with doing that, maybe even like look into doing spiritual work, like, you know, burning sage, burning maybe lavender, burning different types of herbs, getting oils, maybe like learning how to calm yourself. There's different forms of meditations, get crystals that heighten your chakras, maybe do some Reiki, balance yourself out, align yourself, just whatever you have to do in order for you to feel like you're balanced as a person, so that you can be on that level of unbothered. Because I'm pretty sure Omarion does meditate, do all those things like that, and he does live a lifestyle of calmness and practicing being calm. Being calm is an art. You have to master that.
And it's a journey. It's not just something that you got to do once and then you're fine. It's literally something. Life is throwing stuff at you every single day. You've got to literally meditating, or at least with me, I use different types of sounds, different hertz, like 417 hertz. 542 hertz, and I use the ones that are specifically tuned to the chakras, because I'll be out here real blocked up because people be having me bumped up, like, because
and also what people don't realize is that sometimes it's not even you. People can put their energy on you. They can touch you and put their energy on you. And if you're sensitive to those types of things, now you're carrying your energy and their energy. So their sadness is now your sadness. Yes, this is why, like, if you don't know you're an empath, you will be thinking you're depressed the whole time. You're not even depressed. You're just sad. You're just taking on someone's energy from somewhere who feels sad. Like, and that's why you have to really like understand, like, learning how to protect your aura. When you meditate, you know, close your auras, make sure all your chakras are aligned, make sure that your third eye is open, make sure that your crown chakra, wear protection if you need to, get black tourmaline, get tiger's eye, anything that will protect you. Get protection oils. Like, there's lots of protection oils out there. You can get firewall protection oil from Art of Root. You can get lots of different like protection things to protect your energy, but also to help you remain that balanced, centered, unbothered person that, you know, can react to situations appropriately. Yes. Because a lot of times we as people, like, I'm not even gonna say like we as people, like as humans, we take things personally. So we'll see something and be like, oh my God, this is about me. And it may not even be about you and things like that. I mean, you're just so quick to fire off and do all that. When really in reality, you have to step back, take yourself out the equation, take I out of the equation, and just be like, maybe this person is projecting their whatever they're feeling outwardly to us as I'll be screaming that all the time. Oh, you're projecting. I'm gonna give you a minute. Are you okay? You're projecting. Oh, you want to project? I'll give you a second. Like, it's really, I had to realize, like, you know what? I'm just gonna play a game of tennis and just you getting it back, because you're not going to throw your emotional BS at me and tell me you're the reason why. No, you're the reason why this is happening, because you're deciding that you don't want to fix it. It's not my job. Thank you. Yes. Have a good day. And as a spiritual person and as an empath as well, yes, I do not feel like I can fix people. Like
I
I can read your energy all day, but I have decided consciously within myself that I will not be a healer until I'm fully healed. So
exactly.
that's why I really push for people to go get help, get therapy and things like that. I'm in therapy. I do that. But you have to do that. Like you have to
make
want
the choice
to do
for
that.
yourself.
I go to therapy and I do shadow work. I've worked on my inner child. Like you have to work on all. There's so many little things you have to work on so that you can be a better adult, so that you can react to things in a more appropriate manner. Like you can see people like if their inner child is wounded, they're see how they respond and how people respond based off of trauma responses. Like you have to really like people think like, oh, if somebody start wilding out, I'm gonna just detach myself, and that's disassociation, and that is a trauma reaction. That means that you no longer want to feel the emotions that are going on in the situation. So you're like,
you're not even trying to feel them or trying to even go through them. I'm leaving emotionally. Like, wait, we have to work on this. It's literally people's responses or people's ways of learning how to work with or understand their emotions, and they're really not understanding it. It's just malpractice of exercising your emotions, and it's literally because it's just this perpetuating circle of your parents and your grandparents and your great grandparents and so on and so forth not teaching you how to be able to express them correctly. And that also, I call that part of the generational curse, because that is a curse. You have to break those curses because they become cycles. Once that curse is there and you don't know how to do it, and this is like, well, my mom responds like this, or this is how I was taught to respond. I was taught not to cry. No, you break those curses and you learn yourself. How do you want to respond to things? How do you want people to receive you? Right. And that's why you have to, in certain situations, not give everybody a reaction or your energy for things, because your energy and time should be the most valuable things to you, like aside from everything else. Because those are the things you can't get back. Can't waste your energy on things that serve you no purpose. So in your mind, if you are like, all right, this situation is bad, this situation is toxic, which is also my new favorite word now. This situation is toxic. So, all right, this situation no longer serves me, so I'm going to release it. And that's really it. And then you just are like, you feel your feelings. If you have to vent, get it out, but don't do it publicly. That's one thing I just can't get with. Then pick a friend. Pick a trusted friend. If you want an unbiased opinion, go to somebody you don't know. Talk to somebody who you don't know, who probably just be like, sit somewhere, just talk to yourself. Sometimes the best advice comes from yourself. Like sit down, meditate, and just sit and really like be one. Clear your mind and really think like, why is this taking me out of my element? Why is this taking me out of character? Why am I so upset about this? Why does this bother me so much? And really like get to the root of things. And that's really the hardest part about shadow work, is that you have to delve deep into yourself. Like you have to dig deep into yourself to figure out like, why do I respond to things like this? Because once you reach a certain level or a certain vibration, like things of lower vibrations won't affect you no more. Like this is how I'm taking it. Biz and them, they are vibrating at a lower level than Omarion. Omarion is vibrating up here and they're vibrating down here. And you can tell by their reactions, you can tell by how everybody's handling the situation. And that's just how you should handle things. Like if someone is not at the same vibrational level as you, like, and you're gonna come down to their level, that's not good. You should have people rise up to your level and do that, like, and be that way. Like that's how you do it. You don't let someone mess up your money. You don't let all for emotions. You should never let your emotions rule you. You should always master that, control that, and know when and where to express that. Right. I'm not saying don't be heartless and be emotionless, but you have to talk to your mom if you don't like the girl either. Go to someone who you trust, who is a safe space for you. Like if you don't want to go to therapy, find someone who will just listen to you and not judge you. And again, give you an unbiased opinion, because a lot of times when we talk to our friends, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of females can relate to this, when we talk to our friends, especially about like relationship problems, life problems, we get a biased opinion from them. Because I say one day, XYZ, I have a boyfriend named Jamal or whatever, and me and Jamal, we good. And then all of a sudden, I hate Jamal today, and I'm telling my friends why I hate Jamal today. Now all of us hate Jamal, but then tomorrow, me and Jamal work things out. Cool, whatever. But my friends still hate Jamal. Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose who you vent to because not everybody is a listening ear. Some people will not feel the same things you feel. They're still going to hate Jamal because you said we all agreed that we hate Jamal.
Still hating Jamal to y'all marriage day.
Yep.
Like,
so you have to be also careful of what and who you vent to. Like, if I would say if you have problems in your relationship, talk to the person who you're in the relationship with. Or if you're going to talk about your relationship problems, keep it very like general, very, like if the person doesn't know that you're talking about that person, like keep it like very like open to the point where it's like you're not making it seem like, oh, it's just that person's in the wrong and then I'm just not doing nothing. Because I'm pretty sure there's always three sides to the story. There's your side, their side, and the truth. And sometimes we have to be accountable for our actions because we're not always right.
Right.
So that's why you have to take into account all of these things in order for you to reach that level of being unbothered, like how Omar was. You got to
take accountability.
You got to be accountable for all of your actions. You have to, my wise co-host told me that when you apologize twice. You apologize to the person, you apologize to yourself. Why did I take myself out of character? Why am I reacting like this? Like, you feel me? You have to do that. Like, you have to be accountable for your actions. Why did I do this? Why did I do this action? Why, and apologize to yourself for doing that. Why would I do this to myself and put myself
in better than that? Like that kind of.
And then don't blame yourself for things either, or project your blame onto other people for why things go the way they go. Right. There's something called divine timing, and maybe that situation at that moment wasn't divine for you. Like this situation for April and Faith was not divine for them. They did not plan this accordingly, and so now they're in their own little messed up rut and probably gonna have to rely on mother hip hop checks until the tabloids get tired of talking about them.
An episode, they really jacked up.
So it's like you have to really think about it. Like, what do you want your actions to say about you? Like, I can say for myself, like, I've been in situations where people have attacked me online and offline. Online, I'm not going to react to it. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to say nothing. I'll probably just laugh at it, look at it, be like, oh, okay, whatever.
All right.
Okay. But offline, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, as long as it's not affecting my money or affecting my lifestyle, it holds no weight to me. That's how I just look at it. Like, if you're not affecting my money or anything like that, it holds no weight to me. And that's why you guys have to just really just step back and really just say, let me work on myself. Because there's a lot of damaged people out there that be out there going and damaging other people because they don't know that they're damaged and they want to be out here doing all that to other people. And your responses to things really can affect other people in ways that you might not know. So you really have to think about it. Like, really just think, and before you react, be like, let me take the high road. Let me take the high road in this situation. Try it just one time and just be like, you know what? Maybe I wasn't right in this situation. Maybe I didn't say the right thing in this situation. Maybe my tone wasn't set right in the situation.
Be accountable before anything even has to occur. Just check yourself. When you know you about to say something, just remove yourself from a situation. It's difficult because people are at such low levels today. People are vibrating at such low levels. You just want to stoop down to a low level. And what them two did is just nasty and grimy and disrespectful. And on top of that, y'all both are parents. Like, your kids are watching you, and Fizz, your son is watching you from a distance because you're not being a good father. Like, but outside of that, like, please be accountable for your actions. You're being seen. Like,
and even if you're not being seen, be accountable for your actions. Like, take responsibility for what your role was in that situation and in any situation.
Because it is what it is, either way.
Because once it's done, it's done. So, I don't care what they do if they love each other.
That's love.
I think that's a paycheck for them, and they thought they were gonna like profit off of that relationship. I really do. I really don't think that was like an authentic relationship. I mean, maybe they could be authentic friends, but I think it was. I probably think that was manufactured. I really do, because I've heard through the grapevine of Love and Hip Hop that they do set up certain situations for certain people to link up, date, do this and that for ratings. So it's like,
yeah,
they don't really like. you got to remember, reality TV is not really reality. They set these scenes up. They set scenes and all these things like that. But that was a real moment for them, for all of them. So
we saw it. I didn't know what was going on months ago when they did those, when April was on live, and then she was arguing with Moniece on live, and I was just like, for film, or like, I didn't know what was. I'm like, this is fake, right? And it was. Here we are. Omarion and April broke up. Fizz is here. Then I'm like, oh snap! So you really was just out here just dusting the ground with yourself, like you just out here, but nah, like that. That was one of the things that I thought was going to be scripted into the show and wasn't going to be real. But then when I realized that it wasn't, you're looking at the final straw was the tour, seeing that it was posted and that they weren't on there. If they really did all of that for TV, they really just did that for $500 per show checks. And that's not enough to be able to ruin a friendship, ruin a workship, because that was a workship that has been going on since like the year 2000 or even 1999 when the boys V2K first got together and all knew each other. Because you could have continued to do tours, you could have continued to make money. April, even if you weren't with Fizz, with O, like, you could have carried on and minded your business and says, come on now, who was going to cheat? Like K. Michelle said, why did you go for the backup singer that doesn't even sing? I hate to say that, but I know I sound crazy, but somebody else that was in a different bracket and also was not connected to your baby dad in some way, shape, or form would have just been better for you and like what's going on. Your kid's going to see this in 10 years. I know I'm going off, y'all. I'm sorry, but I just want it better for them.
It's just sometimes, that's why I feel like Omarion did the right thing by just not giving them the reactions that they expected. Because we all expected Omarion to blow up because he's a Scorpio. We all expect him to blow up and just be like, oh, they wilding, like, no. Like, and he did the complete opposite of what we expected, which is why it makes us as people realize that we need to step up how we handle certain situations.
Yes. Oh, you know what? That's what I wanted to comment on. I know we giving kudos to Omarion, but again, I gotta give kudos to Moniece because Omarion, we haven't seen him on any of the episodes of Love and Hip Hop, but we've literally seen Moniece on Love and Hip Hop dealing with pettiness, getting bashed, dealing with April stepping over boundaries and getting in between conversations with her and Fizz, who was her son's father, which means that April has nothing to do with it. Even if you want to be the pretend girlfriend, if you want to be the play girlfriend, stay over there because you wouldn't want somebody getting in the way of you and Omarion having a conversation, dealing with her just being disrespectful. And then on top of that, this season finale video that we saw where she was breaking down into tears talking about, she was asking Fizz for help for a day because she didn't think she would be able to make it through the day with her son. And he basically was just like, get over it and hung up the phone. Like, we saw, like on the flip side, we actually saw one of the other parents actually trying to reach out, and we really got to see how crappy like Fizz was acting as a parent. Like she ain't reaching out to you because she wants you. She don't want you. She done already been in a couple of relationships. She don't want you. She's already moving on. So that just goes
that boils down to like I said, I haven't been watching recent episodes of Love and Hip Hop, so God forgive me if I don't know much.
Good. Like,
but I think the last season I watched, Tara Marie was still fighting that case. So I don't know what's been going on lately, but I know this, that any girlfriend that Fizz has ever gotten, he's allowed them to openly disrespect Moniece. Right. Any of them. And that's something a baby father should not do. Like, even if you don't like your baby mother, do not allow someone to openly disrespect someone who carried your child in their kid, your mom, and basically risked her whole life to bring this child into this world. Like,
she's caring for your kid.
You can't do that. And even if Moniece in your eyes may not have been the best mother that you felt she was to your son, that's between you and her. At the end of the day, that should have never been brought out publicly. You should have never let people speak on her in a way. You should have defended her. He never defends her, and I'm just gonna say that from what I've seen, he never defends her. He never takes Moniece's side. He will be against her. He will be with the people, and then those same people who he's with on their side who are bashing Moniece end up disappearing, leaving, going away, whatever, and they don't deal with it.
And then he end up back living on her couch, needing a place to stay the next season. Like, and the only person that I saw that really had Moniece's back, and even though I'm not gonna say that I can't stand him, I just don't like that he's around here always playing females. I'll really give it up to Rich Dollars because he really did come through for her. While them LA dudes was playing, he really kept it clutch over here in New York and was like, no, if she messing with me, I'm gonna make sure that she has a house. She has a roof over her head. She's fed. She has her own home. And came straight at Ray J and Princess for talking about her. And just literally, Fizz was there. The host had to sit there and come in and ask Fizz, "Oh, Fizz, what did you have to say about that? You said something." Like, he didn't even like open up like, "Oh no, she got it." He just sat there, and then the host had to be like, "Oh, what did you say?" "Oh, she definitely got a house." Don't sit here and try to come out of nowhere and like speak up just because somebody said something to you. But no, I really will give it to Rich Dollars for real. He stood up and was like, "No, you're not about to talk to her crazy like that. You're not about to talk about her crazy like that. She has a place to stay. Don't come at her, and you're wrong, and she's a good mother." Like, and it shouldn't have to take another man saying that in front of you on stage. Like, you got punked.
That just boils down to like, maybe that's just Fizz as a person. Like, maybe he is a person, he may feel like no attachments to anybody, so therefore anyone, he doesn't hold anyone close to him. Like, there's no boundaries with him. Like, he doesn't care. If he's dealing with you, he's dealing with you. It's cool and fine. But when he's not dealing with you, the floodgates are open for the disrespect. And that's just how I look at it, because I'm just not gonna let my baby father just sit there and have some chick disrespect me, because I'm gonna beat him up and his girl.
I'm gonna have to beat him up because he's gonna get another girl, and this is gonna happen again.
And it's like you're just someone and something to do at that moment in time. Not saying like that's true for my baby fathers right now, but I'm just saying like at that moment in time, like you cannot let people bash the people that you're with if you have children together. That's just something that should be off limits. But then again, we're talking about this whole situation. Obviously, from what I've concluded from this whole situation is that Fizz has no boundaries. He has no limits.
He really is one of those people who just doesn't have any boundaries and pushes the bill because he thinks he could get away with it, like because he got a smooth, slick voice. We see you, sir. You can't get away with the stuff that you be doing.
So with that, I'll conclude this and say, take the high road in life. Don't let people bring you out of your element. Don't let someone, make you react in a way that you're going to regret later in life. Be accountable for your actions. Be accountable for your words, because you can't take them back.
Yes.
And especially if you're doing something like on film or online, think about what you're about to do before you do it. Because even if you think, oh, I'll delete it and it's gone. No, someone is going to repost that. It's going to be screenshot on somebody's phone forever. Like,
it's going to be seen.
Take the high road. Don't fight over petty stuff. Don't fight over men. Don't fight over nothing. If it's not benefiting you in any way, shape, or form, especially like financially or anything like that, or if it's not affecting you in that way, let it go. Like, don't let someone come and mess up your money because of their emotional baggage or their emotional projections onto you.
That's it.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed the debate today with my lovely guest, my Dory.
Thank you for having me.
I tagged her in the video. Her social network links are attached to the Facebook Live. Also, They are attached on the Instagram. The YouTube Live as well as the equipment that we use, and also my hoodie today, special hoodie. Yes. I got this from my boy Ezra. So guys, just let me know, Kava's hoodies. This is a God-given hoodie. It's really nice.
Yes.
I don't want that too in my hair, but
you got it.
Yes. Make sure y'all cop that. Hit him up. He's on Instagram, on Facebook. So make sure y'all hit him up for a hoodie. Go support his shows. He's local. He's in New Brunswick. From our New Brunswick heads. So, make sure y'all check him out. Check out his music. He has new music out and things like that. Also, this is Yatta Debates without Yatta. I'm very sad. He's watching
for him.
He's watching in the background, and hopefully he'll be back strong the next episode so that we can do this together again as a unit.
Yes. That would be so lit.
So we thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. And I really do appreciate everybody who's interacting, especially Yatta from the sideline and Kiana and everybody else who's interacting. And, I hope you guys really do take into consideration looking into healing and shadow work and things like that. And, if you do want to get into stuff like that, let me know. Hit me up. I could show you the way, hit up my tarot page. So this has been Yatta Debates, guys. I'm gonna go end the live stream on Instagram. I keep saying that.
Because it's important.
And then